Welcome to the Innovation Squadcast, making a positive difference in learning through innovation.
Welcome to Innovation Squadcast, and thanks for making us part of your educational PD journey. As the school year winds down, the pressure of standardized testing is behind us, and it's the perfect time to unleash creativity in the classroom. In this episode, we'll explore engaging and innovative project ideas that can ignite student passions and foster collaborative learning experiences. Join us as we dive into the wealth of resources, including MagicSchool AI tools and unplugged activities that will make the end of the year both exciting and educational. I am Jimmy Kate.
I'm Pam Hubler.
And we are Innovative Learning Coordinators at Berkeley County School District. And we're coming up on the end of the year, and I thought it'd be a really cool idea. We thought it'd be a really cool idea to talk about some end of the year projects, that teachers can put together for when you've got your Chromebooks, and then sometimes those Chromebooks get taken up depending on what school you are a little bit early, and so we've got some unplugged activities as well. And so, when I think about projects and I think about like the importance of them, it's really about how can we build some skills now, right? You've got all these Berkeley County work and life skills, and thinking about which one does your class need to kind of move itself forward. That's kind of what I look at it. And then I like the backwards design model here. I'm thinking, all right, I want my kids to focus on collaboration or communication or whatever work and life skill that you think your class needs. And then how can I work backwards and get to that skill doing something kind of fun and creative. So.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that's one of those things that it's also a good time to kind of wrap everything. What have you learned this year?
Yep. And
create those projects that are just kind of just show me what you learned.
Yes. Yep. And that's another way too. And let them be creative and really get to allow your kids to stretch their minds and how they want to do it. Maybe it's something you really want your kids to work on their critical thinking skills or their problem solving skills, right? You can do that. And the best place to get started with that is MagicSchool AI. Using Raina as a resource to just have a thinking partner that you can type in. I'm looking to help my kids work with problem solving skills. They're third graders. What can we do to help do that? And then, ask it to give me 10 ideas. And then it gives you those 10 ideas and you like one. And then explain this one more or go into more detail. You just keep prompting it and use it to get to where something that's really creative and engaging.
Yes. Yeah. I think my favorite is, and I know, with choice boards, sometimes you have the printed ones, and that's okay because then you have a list of things that they can choose to do. And hopefully you still have some technology to use because it makes it more engaging. But if not, there's lots of ways to use choice boards still.
Yes. Yeah. And then even use Raina for unplugged ideas. All right. We got our Chromebooks are gone. We've got these materials in the room. I've got these materials available. What are some project ideas that my kids can do, whatever grade level, whatever skill, and go from there as well. So you mentioned the choice board. Like I said, you got the choice board tools right there available inside of MagicSchool AI. You've got personalized project options, giving kids choices. There's all kinds of different end of the year projects. You can give them plugged and unplugged ideas, creating all this ready to go. And then the other tool is the project-based learning tool, right? So if you're looking to do some project-based learning, and I think the hardest thing whenever I was putting any project-based learning into action is the prep work. Well, now with MagicSchool AI, it does a lot of the prep work for you. Yeah, when you use that project-based learning tool, you put in what you're looking for. It spells out everything: what the teacher has to do, what the students have to do. It gives them standards. It gives them resources. It gives you guest speaker options. It gives you all these resources to kind of get you started. And of course, you take it and make it best for what's best for your classroom. So.
And I love the idea of the guest speaker part too, because this is the time. Even the teacher always has a computer.
Yep.
So you can do a Google Meet with an expert or something like that, and then the kids can still participate using technology, but it's the teacher's the only one that has to really worry about that technology piece.
Yes. So,
I forget about the PBL tool in MagicSchool.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, you got grade level, you got all kinds of resources, and you can go from community needs to project-based learning or to any work and life skill that you're looking to, and it creates that project-based learning based on your grade level, your needs, and again, the more you prompt it, the better it's going to get, and then you can take it and make it your own. So
even looking at the exemplar, it gives you the driving question or challenge, the real-world context, in-depth inquiry, student voice and choice, reflection, critique, revision. There's tons of information just by looking at the exemplar.
Yeah, it's a really great tool. So
it is a good tool.
Yep. So you got Raina, you got your choice board tool, you got your project-based learning tool, and there's other tools in there as well.
Yes.
Those are the three we're highlighting today for these kind of end-of-the-year projects that
Right.
you're kind of thinking of. And then the other option, again, we talked about the unplugged options as well as Chromebooks get picked up, and or you just don't want to use technology, which
Right.
is fine. There's a lot of creative and innovative ways to use all the different items that are going on, all the items in your classroom. And one of the ones that I love, and that's TED Talks.
Yes.
And that can be done, mostly probably secondary school, your middle school up through high school, but really challenge them to come up with a TED Talk, a student-led presentation on a topic that they have that's interesting. There's tons of research available out there to like what does make a good TED Talk, right? There's tons of resources and tons of examples of TED Talks that are really great and motivating and innovational. Starting strong, creating good stories. It's a great, it's a way to also think about writing, right? You got to hook them. You've got to give it your personal story. And then you've got to have a call to action, right? And that's a really, really fun, innovative, unplugged activity that students can do.
Yeah, that is a good one.
Yep.
And I think the Genius Hour is yet another one that we were talking about that just gets to, they can pursue their personal projects, personal passions, and then sharing everything with the kids around them. I always like doing the sketchnoting is another one.
Yep.
Because it's an art outlet, which I always loved, and that's just another way that you can get the kids in there for showing what they've already learned throughout the year.
Yeah, and think of it like sketch notes. Dr. John Spencer, he talks about Genius. Just let them nerd out on something that they're interested in, and you may get to really learn something about your kids. Right. You're going to learn something new, and you're going to see a different side of, I think, students when you let them really nerd out on those whatever project they're most interested in. You'll be surprised at what they create, allowing them to collaborate with other people. Really fun kind of way to do it. So TED Talks and Genius Hour, sometimes you can put those together. You can have the Genius Hour, let them research, and then that TED Talk can be kind of that end product that comes out of it, or again, giving them other choices as well. So anything that involves kind of art, collaborative projects, critical thinking, any kind of, let them tell stories to each other and come up with their own stories and be creative. There's tons and tons of unplugged ideas that are out there. Reach out to your ILCs. We'll be more than help you through those as well. But again, Magic School would probably be the best place to start getting some of those resources and some of those ideas, to help with some of those kind of unplugged ideas. So.
And the coding, all the like code.org, they have really good resources for unplugged activities. Yes, it's coding specific, but it's still another one of those options for unplugged activities.
There's tons of really great ideas that are still educational, that are still standard-based, that are curriculum-based, that can, again, get creativity, all the 4 C's going, creativity, collaboration, communication, and which one am I forgetting?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to see the list.
Creativity, collaboration, communication, and what? I said communication, collaboration, creativity. Why am I forgetting one of the 4 C's? Critical thinking, yes. Thank you, Jeremy.
It's because we just got back from spring break.
It is
critical thinking is not high on the list.
Yes, critical thinking. Yes, which is probably one of the most important ones out there, right?
Yeah.
I was just having conversations that's one of the most important skills that people need to be working on.
That is true. Which is why we have them do these projects.
Yes, absolutely. So, and then lastly is again reaching out to your ILC team. As May comes around, most of us our calendars are pretty booked, but we can always try to usually work our way in, sometimes and move some things around. Or maybe if you are unplugged, we have some of those robotic options that may not need, if you want to use some Ozobots, those don't necessarily need a computer. We can, you can use the markers and they can go around. You can come up with some fun activities that way. It's an opportunity to maybe, if you still have your Chromebooks, to check out like Dash or something like that from us, where we may not be able there to support it, but that's something that you can easily, put into your classroom.
And we do have some sets that we could probably combine, at least in small groups, not large amounts.
Yeah, small groups. We've got 2 podcasting units that you could set up with your computer and let your kids do some podcasting in your rooms. So there's some, reach out to your ILC, see what supplies are available, and think of some ways that you can incorporate some of that into your classroom at the end of the year, to really help make your classroom, something that's memorable and engaging and creative. So.
And we can still help help plan
Yes.
too. Even if we don't have a specific day that we can come out into the school, we can help plan lots of different things for the classroom.
Yeah.
So.
Reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to help you plan or help you get some of our materials or find someone that can help with that as well. So we got 3D printing, 3D printers. We got a couple of those that you might, I don't know if they're checked out or not, but you can check to see if they're ready to go, and then you can do some 3D printing activities. So tons of different ideas that we would love to help support and make the end of the year, again, memorable for your class. Yeah. So I hope everybody found a project idea that they're going to love. Again, check out MagicSchool, reach out to your ILC and think about some of those unplugged ideas. Head to the show notes if you want to look for some of those resources or different ideas that we were talking about to kind of get you moving in the right direction. In the show notes as well, we've got the Innovation Squadcast PD link. For every 2 episodes, you get 1 hour of renewal credit. Don't forget to follow on the YouTube or to, or is it like or subscribe on YouTube, right? And then follow on Spotify or wherever you get your podcasts so that you get updates on new episodes. So, Pam, thanks for having a little conversation about end of the year project ideas. Jeremy, thanks for producing. And thanks to everyone out there that's watching and listening. Until next time, keep innovating.
Bye.